Hi, this is Blake Butler, lead exercise specialist at the Lift Wellness Center, and in today's video we're going to be talking about the cable chop and lift. This is a great exercise for building core strength and stability, as well as shoulder strength and stability, and we can use a couple different variations in our stance to challenge our core more or less throughout the whole movement. So what we're going to need first off is a cable bar set up on our cable machine, and using a weight that's appropriate for you to use in this one-handed type movement. So what we're going to do first off is we're going to think about keeping our core tight, keeping a strong outer arm in a stable position, and keeping our hips pressed through when we're in our kneeling positions. So in our different stances, we can do this from a full standing, a split stance, a half kneeling position, and a tall kneeling position. The tall kneeling and the half kneeling positions are going to challenge your core the most, whereas the standing positions are going to allow you to get more strength into the movement as we do the chop and the lift. So the chop movement, we're going to start off with a high position for our cable bar, and in the lift movement, we're going to use a low position on the cable bar. We're going to pull down and across in a 45-degree angle, or up and across at a 45-degree angle, and then finishing off by pressing out the movement. So now that we've kind of talked through the parts, let's go ahead and show you how to do this from our standing positions. So we're going to go ahead and grab our cable bar at both ends of the bar. We want to have our outer hand about on the outside of our outer chest, with the other hand gripping the top of the bar. From here, in a full standing position, I'm going to tighten my core by pulling my belly button in, keeping a tall chest. I'm going to pull the bar across the body, locking out my bottom arm and keeping it in a stable position, then pressing out and away with my inner arm and bringing it right back to me. So the goal in this movement is to not allow your bottom arm to move at all as you press with the inner arm. So again, from a different stance, our split stance, which is going to challenge my core a little bit more now and my hip stability, I'm going to pull down and across, locking out the bottom arm, pressing away, and bringing it right back down to me. Then bringing it down to a kneeling position, we're going to make sure that our front foot is flat, that we have the majority of our weight on our bottom knee with our hips pressed forward, so our hips are tight, our core is tight by pulling that belly button in, and my chest is tall, keeping a flat spine. So keeping that same grip of your bottom hand in the middle of your chest and your top hand reaching as tall as you can, we're going to pull down and across, locking out that bottom arm, keeping our shoulder stable, and pressing away. And right back up. And then that last variation, our tall kneeling, where both knees are down. Again, we're going to push our hips forward, pressing my toes into the floor. My abs are pulled in tight, and I have a tall chest. We're going to pull down and across, locking out that bottom arm and pressing away. And right back up. So now we're going to go ahead and bring it back to a standing position and show you the lift, which is the exact same movement, but going in an upward angle. Now that we've set up our cable bar in the low position, we're going to go through the exact same movements, but at an upward angle, which is going to be a little bit more challenging on your stability of your shoulder, so you might need to reduce the weight a little bit as compared to the chop movement. So we've got our cable bar set in that low position. I'm going to grip the outer portion with my outside arm of the cable bar, and then I'm going to reach down without having to bend down too far to the bottom part of our cable bar. So my outer hand is right about at the outside portion of my chest. My feet are shoulder width apart in the tall standing position. From here, I'm going to reach out with that upper arm, locking out, and then pressing forward with my inner arm, keeping my core tight, and right back down. So we're thinking belly button in, tall chest, hips tight, out and up with the top arm, being real stable as we press away and right back down to us. And again, we can do this from a split stance variation, doing the exact same movement of arm out and up, locking out, pressing away, as well as our kneeling positions. So now that we're in the kneeling position, we're gonna make sure that our front foot is flat. The majority of our weight is over our down knee so that my hips are pressed forward and our back toe is pressed into the ground as well. We're gonna focus on keeping the core tight and a tall chest, a stable upper arm, and pressing out strong. So from here, we'll grip the end of the cable bar with our outer arm about chest height. We're gonna reach down low with our inner arm and then pull out and across with a stable arm and pressing out with our inner arm. So we'll bring it out and up, locking up that upper arm and then pressing out and right back down. And then the same thing from our tall kneeling position with both knees down. My toes are pressed into the ground, my hips are pressed forward so my core is tight, my belly button's pulled in and I have a tall chest. We're gonna pull out and up and press away and right back down. So this has been the cable chop and lift. These are great exercises for building more core strength and stability, as well as great shoulder stability strength. Use these in your exercise routines to help with those goals that you have. And thanks for watching. This is Blake Butler with the Lift Wellness Center.